Bonjour, it's morning in Carcassonne, and we've had our breakfast, or a petit déjeuner. I had a fairly sizable déjeuner, if I'm going to be honest, but that's just because I eat a lot first thing in the day. And now we are heading back up to the walled city to do the actual, Rampart tour. Didn't feel like doing it yesterday, and it was late, getting later in the day, and the uneven ground was playing merry hell with Kathleen's foot, and so now we're heading back. This is why we planned it like this. We have basically the whole day here. Our night train, which is this evening, doesn't leave Toulouse train station until 10:20, so we have plenty of time.
Well, we need to be in Toulouse. We need to get, the 7 o'clock train to Toulouse?
Yeah.
So we've got basically all day here, right? But we don't have that much. We gotta if we want to get to Toulouse later, we absolutely can, but then we have to pay €12 a person. So we're not doing that. We're going there earlier and then giving ourselves more time at the train station to try and figure out our lives.
It's true. Time and our money are both finite. So
our money is extremely finite.
We're doing it this way. I just figured it out. You know those little sort of spray paint arrows we've been seeing occasionally on the walls around? Yeah, they're leading to X marks the spot. That's where you have to stand to get the effect of the concentric circles.
Mind blown.
Yo, new level of madness just dropped. It's mountain biking Carcassonne.
I feel it's stupid for not realizing that France, the country that invented the Tour de France, would not be into bike riding. You see so many people here riding their bikes around as part of how they're getting around and touristing. That's one of the things that you can do is you can do a bike tour of the canal, which makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Oh.
The proprietor of the bed and breakfast advised that we not try the bicycle tour of the canal on account of it's very easy for someone like Penelope to fall in. So, your mileage may vary. There is a traffic light. There's just one traffic light. You can just see it. There's a car, so I guess that makes sense. But there is a traffic light up here in the fortress city, and it seems like the silliest traffic light I've ever seen. Everything's great, auberge de jeunesse. I don't know why any of you watch these, really. I'm incredibly lucky that you do. Maybe it's the camera work, maybe it's the chill vibes, maybe it's my winning personality, but for those of you who are watching this for any kind of tourism advice, visit Carcassonne first thing in the morning before it gets too busy, because this is delightful compared to yesterday. Yeah, yesterday this square was shoulder to shoulder, just comically rammed full of people, but today I can actually walk. I was expecting to see more of it, but I am pleased that at least one shop here is actually selling Carcassonne, the award-winning tabletop game, and all of the various exceptions. So the city itself obviously has big walls and ramparts and all that stuff, but now we're crossing a moat into sort of the inner and we get to actually walk around some of the ramparts, which is very cool. Viewer, we are now above the parking lot that I was filming in last night, and some other absolute demon has just parked their car in the middle of the parking lot. I don't understand. Oh, it's Rampart time. The signage was saying that in fine weather you can see the Pyrenees from here, and if this day doesn't count as fine weather, I don't know what does. So those must be the Pyrenees over there. eagerly looking forward to being stuck in that line, but
Very good. We can't go up there, which I'm fine with.
you do have to go down some though. Just reading the signage about some just improbable fail-safes that they had here with like 2 different portcullises that they couldn't communicate between the 2 rooms, so that if one fell to invading soldiers, they wouldn't get both portcullises necessarily, and they were like hyper protected by additional towers that could defend them from the inside as well. It's very impressive. This was a strategically valuable point to hold. I don't know if it comes across on camera how cool my voice sounds to me, but I want to do narration in this booth. In a world. In the town of Carcassonne. Ow.
Just the one stairs and this.
Ugh.
That's how they made.
It's kind of funny to me that so much of this tour is like, this thing was built in the 5th century, this thing was built in the 10th century, this thing was built in the 15th century, this was all then restored in the 1850s, at which point we said stop. No more building. Now it's like this forever, or until, I don't know, something particularly drastic happens. Good grief. Good news, we're at that part that was really backed up when I saw it from up there, but now there's very few people here comparatively. Timing worked out spectacularly in our favor. Oh, this is tighter. This is a much tighter spiral staircase than the other ones.
With very narrow stairs.
Yeah, incredibly narrow stairs.
I'm okay. I'm just being really cautious.
Good. Yes, do that. Be very cautious. Wait for us at the bottom, please, Penelope.
People are generally so nice and friendly and helpful, as long as you're a nice and polite person. Which some people fail to understand that.
It's so easy, though. Very steep set of stairs. Preposterously steep. Hey Graham, again back with that sick travel advice that you're all definitely here for. This tour, which was the chateau and the Ramparts, was €9.50, and kids under 12 are free. So it just seems like phenomenal value. And there's an amphitheater. What the heck? What?
Did you just wait, Penelope? Did you just clunk your head?
I sure did.
Are you okay?
I felt my teeth clack together.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy, I wasn't expecting that one. I think I was talking about how this was a good value for money, and it is. Just watch your head if you're 6'3". I'm okay. We're gonna have lunch after this. I'm gonna sit down for a while. Come to the bell tower. Get your bell rung. Oh God. No, but without snark, this has been terrific. This is absolutely amazing. Oh, there's that drone. Oh, boy, there's more. I see it's value for money, just the sheer number of ramparts that you have to traverse. I'm getting thirsty, but then I am carrying all the water, so I should be okay. Narrowly avoiding another disaster on my way out of this staircase. That would have... just not designed for old buildings. Yikes. Oh, okay. All the discarded audio tours are screaming in agony. And now... out we go. Oh, the girls' bathroom had normal toilets? That's nice. The men's only had urinals and squats. So, okay, well, good for you then. After running price comparisons on the restaurants up here in the city versus down in the sort of, I mean, I guess it's still a touristy zone, but anyway, it's not actually any more expensive on average to eat up here. So we found a restaurant that serves cassoulet because cassoulet is from here, and we wanted to try cassoulet, and it was pretty all right. I don't know if it was like the most amazing cassoulet, but we have now had cassoulet in the south of France. So, you know, that's nice. Also, the bathrooms here are like in a tiny closet hidden away under the stairs, and it's another fine place for me to absolutely murder my forehead, but I didn't this time. So, you know, only one small head injury today. Turns out we've been coming in the rear entrance the whole time. This is very impressive. That is the UNESCO World Heritage plaque for the city of Carcassonne. And for some reason, that is a novelty to me. Of all the UNESCO World Heritage sites that Kathleen and I saw when we were in Japan, it's the first time I've ever actually seen the UNESCO World Heritage plaque.
Whoa, where is it?
It's right there, on that pillar.
All right, can I get a picture in front of it?
Can you get a picture in front of it?
Carcassonne is super cool. You go through the chateau, you go the ramparts. It's very neat. Good sort of self-guided tour. I really felt like I got my €9 worth of looking around at a castle and like walking around and stuff like that. I feel that they sort of time gate it, not because there's any kind of like tour or anything like that, just because the narrow hallways can only handle so many people at a time. So everything worked really well. It's kind of annoying that the actual city basically just seems to be like a series of shops designed to separate parents with children from money, right? Like candy shops, drinks, everything, ice cream. Basically, lots of opportunities to spend money. Wish there's a little bit more to see, but it's very cool.
I think that very much echoes my own feelings. Luckily, all of those shops are wrapped around by this. So, you know, worst case scenario, you know, just hang on to your money, eat somewhere cheaper, and see this amazing castle. From the perspective of someone who's recently injured, how were those staircases?
I mean, most of them were fine, but one was absolutely terrifying. It was like a very steep spiral staircase with the narrowest. They couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 inches at their widest part. I had to, I was putting my feet on the stairs sideways, because if I had have just stepped on it, like half of my foot would have been hanging off. It was incredibly nerve-wracking to go down that staircase, and of course they're super tall as well, and it's sort of somewhat irregular heights. No such thing as building codes in medieval France.
Okay, so we've been in France for like 24 hours, and I don't understand a couple things. One, I cannot find a lapel pin as like a souvenir anywhere in any of the touristy shops. But you know what I can find? Ashtrays. Haha. And sponge holders, like for your kitchen sink, like a thing to put your sponge in, so it doesn't just languish in the bottom of the sink. Why a Carcassonne sponge holder? what culturally is happening here in the south of France to make that be a thing that they really want to offer you branded variants of? Hey, it's map time. This is the cité. This is the walled city. That's the actual like UNESCO World Heritage Site. We're staying. I mean, here we're literally our B&B is directly behind the camera at the moment. To get to the train station, we've got to go past this square, back through the city, and up there, and that's about a 20-minute walk. But we don't feel like it right now. We don't have to be there for 4 hours, and we're sort of like. It's an irritating amount of time because it's like not quite enough time to get places and do stuff, and also we'd have to come back here and get our bags. So we're sort of like trying to figure out what we want to do. Also, the cafe is playing that Altman Brothers song that's the theme song to Top Gear, and it's really messing me up. All right, we've altered the problem slightly in that it's the same problem, but now we're sitting in a park. Our stuff is at the B&B, and where we need to go is a 20-minute walk through like the actual city, which we discovered on our tour today. Used to be a different neighboring city that they had problems with, and then it was they like joined forces, and then that one was burned to the ground, and so it's none of that survives anymore. Just the big one and on the hill and the little footbridge here. That's irrelevant. But what we don't want to do is like go over there to try and find something, and then have to walk back here and then get our bags and then walk back over there. So
because that would be like an extra hour of walking. Because it's about 20 minutes to get to the station. There's also a canal tour you can go on. So we could walk over and take the canal tour. But then we'd have to walk back 20 minutes to our B&B, and then walk another 20 minutes back, carrying our bags. And it just seems like too much walking for the day.
And for those at home wondering and asking, we are fed and hydrated. Not as caffeinated as I'd like, but we can cross that bridge. Literally, that bridge. We can cross that bridge to go find some caffeine. We're just sort of, we're just kind of tired. So I think, as much as it pains me, the plan is going to have to be go get our bags now, and then just very slowly meander through the town until we see something we're interested in, and then stop and have a seat there for a while. That should fill 3.5 hours.
Like, I know it's not very exciting, but this is a nice park, and we're in the shade, and there's a lovely breeze, and it's not too hot. I'm actually kind of vibing just sitting here. I've given Penelope my phone so she can play video games on it, so this is all she wants to do. If it was me, an adult, I could probably sign myself up for an extra hour of walking around today. Harder to do with a 7-year-old, right? They just have less stamina. And right now she's very happy because she's fed and, etc., etc. But
I will say she's got impressive stamina for a 7-year-old. She can go.
Yeah, Penelope legitimately has very good stamina for a 7-year-old. And that's partially because we've always done like big walks with her and stuff like that. Like during the pandemic, we had nothing to do, so we'd go for 5-kilometer walks, which isn't that far, but when you have a 4-year-old, it's a very long way for a 4-year-old. And then when we were walking around Barcelona, Penelope kept up with all of the adults all day, right? She basically walked as far as all of the grown-ups and didn't complain. Because also we put her in outdoor camps.
The building just there is a kind of I don't know, it's like a futuristic self-cleaning public bathroom. You can go in and use it, and everything's automatic and no touchy and all that, and then when you leave, these little things in the floor just blast water across the floor and blow everything into a trough on the far side that sort of keeps everything on the floor tidy. And apparently it also cleans and dries the seat, it says, but there was no seat. I think there might have been some mild to medium vandalism. This is a very nice public washroom, to be honest. And unlike the one at Park Güell in Barcelona, it didn't cost 50 cents. watching those dudes play bocce, and one of them has a magnet on a string so that he doesn't have to bend over to pick up the bocce balls, which is like, I guess. You know, you really cracked this whole code wide open, bro. We just spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just sort of sitting in this lovely square, having some coffees and pastries and things, and planning what we're going to do for the 5 hours we're in Paris, and lamenting that North America has terrible urban planning because stuff like this doesn't exist where we live. Oh yeah, we're going to be that kind of annoying people when we get back for like probably 3 or 4 weeks at least. Be like, well, you know, in Paris, in France, in Spain, they have Anyway, nobody has to-go drinks anywhere. Because you just find a place to sit and you get a drink, and then you sit there for an extended period of time until long after the drink is completed. And you just sit. And you enjoy sitting and hanging out with people. It's nice. Because we were just talking about this, Kathleen and I, there's no third spaces in North America because, you know, they're not profitable. So there's nowhere to just go and be, right? Like, you can go to a specific cafe or a restaurant or something, but there's no place you can just go to hang out. We ran the numbers on doing the canal boats, and unfortunately the timing just wasn't there, which is a shame. But, you know, maybe next time we're in Carcassonne.
The timing and the extra hour of walking and like transit it would have added to our trip. What we should have done probably is try to do a canal boat yesterday. But then we would have felt rushed on Carcassonne. Like I felt like I saw it like well by this morning, but I think, well, I guess we just would have spent, whatever. I've kind of enjoyed having a more laid-back day.
I think it's just, when you're traveling, you have to accept that you're never going to see everything, so just be happy with the things that you have seen, and I definitely am. Here comes one of the boats. That rental boat that just went past had a sign on it that was like, no experience needed, no license required. And I'm like, yeah, but like, could it though? Could it maybe require a license and some
like
experience?
15-minute. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well, this canal.
Yeah, the canal is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We just sort of buried the lead on that one. I just feel like maybe some boating experience or some kind of license. Well, I wouldn't call Carcassonne Station one of Europe's great terminals, but I'm just glad trains exist.
I love not driving. I love that it's just, okay, we need to go from here. There's somebody that will take me and my luggage there, and as long as I'm there at the right time, I don't need to think about it. It's super convenient.
I'm not sure if our train is leaving from platform W or platform W, or in English, woo woo. We're on a night train tonight. This is the train to Marseille leaving from the other platform, which was in the station for just long enough for an average of one person per door to stick their head out and drain a cigarette before jumping back on board. Part of the culture, what can I say? was a full train. I got to sit down between the last stop and this stop. Okay, so that was kind of a fraught. Not fraught. It was a very full train. It was just a very full train, and there was people leaving stuff on seats, so, you know, finding seat. We didn't have seats together. I stood for nearly all the trip, but whatever, it was fine. But now we're in Toulouse. It is 9 p.m. or 2100, and our train boards at, my hair looks terrible. Our train boards at 22:18. So we have another hour and 15 minutes. That's just the way that the train's lined up. We could have gotten a more convenient train here, but then we would have had to pay another 12 euros per person, and we already have the Eurail pass, so like, why? Now we're just briefly walking around the evening in Toulouse, and we're going to a grocery store to get some ready food. Also, this canal here is the same canal that was in Carcassonne. Apparently, it connects the Mediterranean to the Atlantic. For whatever it's worth, Penelope is also very excited about night train.
Night train! Night train! Night train!
Whoop.
A long time ago, we were working with Robert Koo before he retired. He was like, I always wash my hands before I eat because I don't want to be sick because it will reduce my productivity. And he did find, because of course he A/B tested it, that when he started washing his hands before he ate, every single time he got less sick. He like noticeably got fewer illnesses. And so, since he gave me that advice, and I'm talking he gave me that advice in like 2011 or 2012 when we filmed Strip Church, I had been fairly... I was like, no, you can't, you have to wash your hands before you eat, before COVID made everybody a germaphobe. But it's good advice, and I still try to follow it to this day, especially if I've been touching things like in public transit where unknown numbers of people have been touching and stuff like that. I've been handling handrails all day and all of these things. So, you don't know who's not washing their hands.
Is taking a night train maybe a lot, especially with a 7-year-old? Yes. Did I book this perhaps in a bit of a bout of high spirits? Yes. Am I slightly regretting it now? Absolutely not. I'm very excited about this. Oh, no way! The train's here already. Is that platform 3? Oh. Well, sweet. All right. Bon news. This is our train. Our train is here now, and the doors are open. Mal news. We can't actually get on it for another like 15-20 minutes because they have to check everyone's ticket when they get on, which, you know, makes sense. You'd think that that would be a thing they would have to do to all of the time, but they didn't check our tickets coming between Carcassonne and Toulouse, which is a little annoying because I did activate a day on our Eurail pass and we were ready to show them, but they never checked it, so I could have gotten away with not using one of the 5 days on our Eurail pass, but oh well, I guess strictly speaking one should pay for trains that they ride on, so I did. I don't know if people nerd out for trains in France the same way they do in other countries. I assume they do. It seems like kind of a universal thing. But anyway, that shot of the engine was for you. Is this train in any way notable or interesting? I'm guessing not, but if it is, feel free to let me know in the comments. Or lie. I won't know. Frickin' go for it. This is great. We're getting to go on about 40 minutes before we leave, so we can, you know, spend our time there instead of on the platform and sort of get settled. Neuf, oui.
Everybody gets a bottle of water.
Oh.
And there's luggage stash space.
Oh, this is great. Yes.
And also,
I've never been on a sleeper car before.
I'm going to
This is great. So it's 4 bunks. It's pretty tight space, but this is technically speaking first class. It's 4 bunks, and we paid a small extra fee to basically sort of reserve the 4th bunk, so that this is just us in here. This was a little bit of a splurge, but so here's the thing. Especially earlier in the pandemic, we got into watching, Kathleen and I, a lot of a YouTube channel called Solo Travel Japan. There are many imitators. Don't believe them. Solo Travel Japan, not solo travel, not just Solo Travel Japan. That's the original, and he does a lot of like sort of reviews of various ways to get around Japan, and he does a lot of like sleeper trains and stuff like that, or overnight ferries and things. And we've always been sort of going, hey, that's a pretty good idea, because then you get your travel and your accommodation for cheaper than they would cost combined. And so that's what we're doing. We wanted to get from here to England, and so we have to get to Paris to get the Eurostar, and then this way we also don't have to pay for a hotel for the night. So it all works out pretty well. Hi.
Hello. All the bathrooms are closed.
Ah, the bathrooms are closed. Well, there's no shower facility on this train, but there is this improbably small sort of wash basin room for doing like teeth and hands and things. So that's what I'm going to be doing in here, which is literally just enough space to stand and a sink. So sure, hey, why not? Good stuff. All right, the actual bathroom does grant a little more generous space for whatever that's worth. We are just underway, so it's time to look in the kit de voyage. Let's see what's inside the travel kit. I've got earplugs, sleep mask, good idea, soft, mouchoir en papier. Is it like a... They're not wet naps.
They're just tissues.
They're just tissues. All right. Soft. We've got... Oh. A breath mint. And a wet nap. Fresh. And I don't know. Why doesn't this one just say teeth? And also the inside of the box is a Sudoku puzzle and the solution. So careful which side of the inside of the box you look at. So that's handy. I will be using several of those things. Probably all of them. Unfortunately, there was some kind of issue with the ticket booking website, and we do not in fact have complete run of all 4 of these bunks, and the train is full, so it's a little different than I'd imagined, but it's still pretty cool. Also, Penelope's having an amazing time, so whatever. You know, I can just fit. Just fit. My feet are flat against the wall. My head is brushing this end, but I just fit.